This is Net News Network headline news in 3 minutes for Thursday, February 17th, 2022. A Ukrainian Joint Forces officer tells Fox News that his soldiers are responding to artillery shelling in eastern Ukraine. This morning, the officer said the exchange of fire is ongoing at this time. The officer added that one Ukrainian soldier was injured along with 3 civilians. The Ukrainian soldier is in serious but stable condition. The Pentagon, in response to this report of the shelling of a Ukrainian village, says it's troubling. Reports of Ukraine and Russian-backed rebels accusing each other of violating a ceasefire after a shelling incident Thursday, stating the U.S. is monitoring the situation. The U.S. also believes that Russia may be trying to stage a false flag operation as an excuse to invade Ukraine, but the U.S. is not jumping to any conclusions at this time. U.S. officials believe the invasion of Ukraine could happen now at any time. On Monday, February 14th, Canada initiated its Emergency Act, its version of martial law, effectively. The move, the first time a Canadian government has taken such action in half a century, is Mr. Trudeau's most aggressive response since the crisis began. It would allow the federal government to expand measures to reopen impeded border crossings and clear the blockade of about 400 trucks in Ottawa, the nation's capital. The invocation of the Emergencies Act confers enormous temporary powers on the federal government, allowing it to do what is necessary, including overriding certain civil rights to restore public order. For example, banning public assemblies or restricting travel to and from specific areas. But Mr. Trudeau stressed repeatedly that the act would not be used to suspend fundamental rights, and he will not use the military against the protesters. On the other hand, indoor vaccine requirements have been suspended in Canada, they claim, because cases are down and that it has nothing to do with the protest. Republicans in the Florida House of Representatives early Thursday approved a ban on abortions after 15 weeks, moving to tighten access to the procedure ahead of a U.S. Supreme Court decision that could limit abortion rights in America. GOP lawmakers in Arizona and West Virginia this week advanced their own 15-week abortion bans, and Republicans in other states are modeling legislation after a law in Texas which effectively banned abortions after 6 weeks. President Joe Biden is ordering the release of Trump White House visitor logs to the House committee investigating the riot of January 6, 2021, once more rejecting former President Donald Trump's claims of executive privilege. The committee has sought a trove of data from the National Archives, including presidential records that Trump had fought to keep private. The records being released to Congress are visitor logs showing appointment information for individuals who were allowed to enter the White House on the day of the insurrection. They're desperate, folks, and at this point they're going to try anything to influence the next election because Biden is definitely hurting. You're going to see all these COVID restrictions go away with the elections coming up. I wouldn't even be surprised if they would like to go to war with Russia in hopes that that would bolster Biden's numbers if we had some kind of win over there with Ukraine and Russia. This has been Headline News in 3 minutes. For more, visit netnewsnetwork.net. Thanks for listening.